Before dawn, the 29th of May, 1453, the sky over Constantinople is grey, not yet lit. On the broken walls, men fight over the bodies of the dead. A Genoese commander falls, struck by a projectile, and is carried away. And in that half-light, 1,000 years of Roman history begins to end. No one yet knows the city is already lost. Most believe Rome died in the year 476. It did not. The empire lived on in the east, ruled from Constantinople, calling itself Roman for nearly 1,000 more years. Emperors still sat where Constantine had ruled, but by 1453, the empire was a shadow, a single city, waiting. The end had a date. The city did not yet know it. Once, Constantinople held 400,000 souls. Now barely 40 to 50,000 remained. Grand avenues stood half empty, churches crumbled, fields grew inside the ancient walls. The greatest city of the medieval world had become a ghost of itself, its treasures long plundered, its wealth long spent. Yet its walls still stood, the mightiest fortifications ever built. For now, the man who would take it was 21 years old, Mehmed II, Sultan of the Ottomans. Young, brilliant, and consumed by a single ambition to seize the city that had defied conquerors for 1,000 years. Others had tried and failed. Mehmed would not fail. He gathered his army, his engineers, and a weapon the world had never seen. 1451, Mehmed builds a fortress on the European shore of the Bosporus, Rumeli Hisara, the throat cutter. Its guns command the narrow strait. No ship passes without his leave. In a single stroke, Constantinople is severed from the Black Sea, from grain, from allies, from hope. The Noose tightens before the siege has even begun. An engineer named Orban comes to the city first, offering to cast a monstrous cannon. The Byzantines cannot pay him, so he goes to the Sultan. Mehmed pays whatever he asks. In the foundries of Adrianople, over 3 months, Orban casts a bombard unlike anything in history. A gun built to break walls that had never been broken. The great cannon measured some 27 feet. It hurled stone balls weighing 1,200 pounds. It fired 7 times a day, no more. The barrel had to cool. To move it, 60 to 90 oxen and hundreds of men dragged it 140 miles to the city. 14 batteries of guns would join it. The age of walls was ending. The 23rd of March, 1453. Mehmed marches from Edirne with 80,000 men. Behind them come the guns, the oxen, the engineers, the endless baggage of war. A great host moves west across Thrace toward the sea. Inside the city, the watchmen see the dust on the horizon and understand. The reckoning they have feared for generations has come. The 6th of April. The Ottoman army arrays before the land walls, a sea of tents stretching beyond sight. Banners, drums, the low roar of 100,000 throats. Facing them, a thin line of defenders on the ramparts. The siege has begun. It will last roughly 53 days, under 2 months to decide the fate of an empire. How many stood against them? By one eyewitness count, fewer than 5,000 Byzantine soldiers. With Italian allies, perhaps 7 or 8,000 in all. And the walls they had to hold ran 19 kilometers. One archbishop wrote plainly, those skilled with bow and crossbow were not enough to man all the ramparts. The math was impossible. Their emperor was Constantine XI, of the house of Palaiologos, born in this city 49 years before, crowned in 1449. He would not flee. He took personal command of the defense, walking the walls among his men. Around him stood Lucas Notaras and other lords of a dying court. The last Roman emperor prepared to die Roman. From Genoa came Giovanni Giustiniani, a soldier of fortune and master of siege warfare. He brought about 700 men and a reputation that steadied the whole defense. Constantine gave him command of the most vital sector, the land walls near the St. Romanus Gate, where the blow would surely fall. On his skill, the city's survival would turn. The 12th of April, the guns open fire. Each shot raises a plume of dust and shattered stone. The Great Bombard's roar is heard for miles. the walls that had stood 1,000 years begin, slowly, to crumble. Stone groans, sections sag and fall, and still, 7 shots a day, the barrel cooling between each, the bombardment never truly stops. By day, the guns hammer the walls to rubble. By night, the defenders come out with torches. Men, women, children pack the breaches with earth, timber, barrels of rubble, bundles of brushwood. What the cannon breaks in daylight, the city rebuilds in darkness. Exhausted, sleepless, they hold the line one more dawn, and another, and another. The 18th of April. Mehmed sends his first great assault against the battered walls near St. Romanus. Wave after wave crashes against the stockade in the dark. The defenders hold, the attackers fall back, leaving their dead in the ditch. For now, flesh and courage have beaten the guns. But the Sultan has time and men to spare. The 20th of April, 4 ships appear on the horizon, 3 Genoese sent by the Pope, 1 Byzantine, heavy with men and supplies. The Ottoman fleet swarms to stop them. Against hundreds of vessels, the 4 fight through and reach the harbor. The city erupts in joy. It is the last good news Constantinople will ever receive. Humiliated, Mehmed answers with genius. On the night of the 21st, he does the impossible. Behind the Genoese colony at Galata, his men lay greased logs across the hills. Through the dark, hauled on tallow and timber, dozens of warships crawl overland. By morning, they float inside the Golden Horn, behind the great chain that was meant to stop them. The harbor that had always been safe is safe no longer. Now the defenders must guard the sea walls too, stretching their tiny force thinner still. The chain across the Golden Horn, that ancient shield, is worthless. Inside the city, hope drains away. Outside, the guns keep firing. Every day the walls grow weaker, and the men fewer. Then the heavens seem to turn against them. In the last days of the siege, the moon was eclipsed, swallowed into shadow. Old prophecies had said the city would never fall while the moon was full. Now the people watched the darkness climb across it and wept. To the faithful and the fearful alike, the sign was unmistakable. Late May. The walls smoke with pulverized stone. The defenders are grey with dust and sleeplessness, praying in half-ruined churches, waiting for the blow they know is coming. Mehmed's camp falls quiet, the quiet before the storm. He is massing everything for one final, overwhelming assault. There will be no second chance for either side. On the 28th of May, the Sultan makes his decision. At dawn, he will throw his entire army at the walls in wave after wave until the defenders break or die. In the city, Constantine gathers his commanders one last time. Then processions wind through the streets, and the people crowd into Hagia Sophia to pray together, Greek and Latin as one. After midnight, the assault begins. First, the irregulars, hurled forward to exhaust the defenders and fill the ditches with bodies. Then the disciplined troops of Anatolia. The defenders cut them down and cut them down again, holding the stockade over heaps of the fallen. Trumpets, drums, screams. But behind these waves waits Mehmed's finest and freshest men. Now the Janissaries come, the Sultan's elite, the third and final wave. They surge against the ruined walls in perfect order as Mehmed drives them on. At the stockade, the fighting is hand to hand, over the dead and the dying. Constantine fights among his men. The defenders, outnumbered and exhausted, give nothing. The line still holds, barely. Then, at first light, the blow that ends it all. Giustiniani is struck by a projectile and carried bleeding from the wall. His men's resolve shatters, and nearby, the small Kirkaporta gate is found open. Ottoman soldiers pour through, raising their banners on the towers. The line collapses. Constantine vanishes into the fighting and is never surely seen again. The city is taken. Tuesday, the 29th of May, 1453. Mehmed enters the fallen capital and rides to Hagia Sophia, which becomes a mosque. Some 4,000 defenders lay dead. Near 30,000 souls were enslaved. After 1,000 years, the Roman Empire was gone. Far to the west, a new age would soon send Englishmen to a wild American shore, where an entire colony would simply vanish. I'm the calm witness. I never look away.